It's a big game for both teams tonight. The Sunfish lost last night to Souris Valley, and the Sabre Dogs are trying to tie up the series and go out of here not on a losing streak. They also want to pull ahead of the Mining City Tommyknockers, who are currently on a 3-game winning streak and tied with the Sabre Dogs on top of the Lewis Division standings. The Sunfish, on the other hand, want to take a 3-1 lead and the series against the Sabre Dogs after dropping last night's game, and with a comeback victory over the Spearfish Sasquatch for the Fremont Moo last night, the Sunfish are now 3 games behind of the Clark Division leaders. It's a must-win for both teams, and it all happens tonight here at Karras Park. Hello, fans. David Coyer bringing you all of tonight's action between the 12-8 Sabre Dogs and the 13-7 Sunfish on the Sioux Falls Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. It seemed to be a close game after the 7th inning, just 3-1 Sabre Dogs, until the top of the 9th inning. Souris Valley would put up 2 more and end up going 5-1. The bats just weren't there for Sioux Falls last night, as they had their first loss since returning to action after the All-Star break. They look to recover tonight with Andelo Santangelo on the mound against Souris Valley in Game 4 of 4 of this series that started all the way back on Thursday. Santangelo coming off of back-to-back outings in which the Sunfish lost, including himself earning the loss decision back on July 12th in the 1-0 Fremont win. His most recent outing went 5 innings, allowed 2 runs off 3 hits, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts in the 8-6 loss against the Fremont Moo. As of coming off of the mound in that game, Santangelo would have had the win, but a late inning comeback for Fremont would put them ahead of Sioux Falls. A fastball just a bit high. 6:36 first pitch officially. That's 3 straight. Thursday it was 6:37, but since then we've started at 6:36 from Karras Park. A very warm day as Justin Cooper fouls off the next pitch he sees. It's 1-1. Justin Cooper leads things off. Declan Buckle, Drew Miller, Stephen Moretto. Your first 4, Cullen Hannigan, Ethan Moore, Jordan Williams, Jared Breedwell. Your next 4 with Reese Anderson rounding out the Sabre Dogs lineup this evening. The 1-1 bounces in the dirt. It's 2-1 on the changeup. Santangelo, 1-3 on the season through to 9 games, 5 of them starts, 6.9 ERA, 30 innings pitched, 30 strikeouts, 15 walks. The 2-1 is taken low. It's 3-1. Jordan Williams, on the other hand, or Justin Cooper, not Jordan Williams. Justin Cooper out of Fort Worth, Texas, is batting .371. He'll draw a leadoff walk on a fastball that misses low. That's his 29th base on balls this season. He has 3 doubles, 2 home runs, 18 strikeouts to accompany it. 19 stolen bases for the Texas Southern University product. We'll see if he takes off early in this game. Declan Buckle playing second base tonight, batting .222 out of the 2-hole. Went 0 for 2 last night with a run and an RBI. He walked and struck out. A pitch in the dirt, bounces over the head of Will Olson off the netting. And no stolen base, but second base is now acquired by Justin Cooper. .222 batting average, 10 walks, 7 RBIs, 3 doubles through 15 games for Declan Buckle out of Minot State. Beautiful day here at Karras Park. The sun is shining. It's a warm day. Mid-90s as another pitch misses low and in. 2-0, not the start that Santangelo was hoping for. 90 degrees and sunny in Sioux Falls. Another hot one Tuesday against Western Nebraska. It's supposed to get up to 102. Haven't seen temperatures like that at home for the Sunfish, only typically when they travel to Pierre. 2 balls and no strikes to Buckle early on. Runner on second here in the top of the first. This one's lifted into right field. Mitch Stroh drifting back just in front of the warning track. Tagging is Cooper. The throw will be cut off on the bounce into Benito Garcia's glove. And a sac fly advances Justin Cooper over to third. One out with a runner already 90 feet away from scoring early on. Sunfish held a runner on second in inning number 1 last night. It wouldn't be until the top of the 4th where the Sabre Dogs would be the first ones to score, but now early on they're already teasing. It's the lefty Drew Miller taking a curveball low and away for ball 1. Miller from Wichita State University, 6'2 lefty, batting .261 with 4 doubles, 5 home runs, 27 RBIs. Went 0 for 1 on Friday. It's a long fly ball to center field. Dutka throwing in on the tag. It's another sac fly, and the Sabre Dogs are up 1-0 in the top of the first. So a walk, a pass ball, a fly out to right, a fly out to center, and Justin Cooper has made his way around the bases pretty quickly. It'll be Steven Moretto out of British Columbia, Canada. 6'2 righty, 341, 9 doubles, 5 home runs, 25 RBIs. Has walked 3 times, struck out 20. Takes a slider on the outside corner for a strike. Dane Frazier, Kenneth Dutka, and Mitch Stroh in the outfield for Sioux Falls. Norris McClure, who has played every game since Friday, July 16th against the Fremont Moo. A curveball fouled off, puts Moretto behind 0-2. So let's see, that is 6 consecutive games. Tonight he's making his 7th consecutive start, this time over at third after moving to shortstop last night. Benito Garcia at short. JT Mix also on a consecutive games played. He's up to game 5 tonight over at second. A line drive straight into the glove of Norris McClure at third in the hot corner. Zeph Hoffpower was playing first. Will Olson is catching tonight for Santangelo. The Sabre Dogs strike first. 1 run off, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. It's 1 for the Sabre Dogs. We'll see how the Sunfish respond in the bottom of the first. The Sabre Dogs have taken an early 1-0 lead, and looking to keep it 1-0 is Jaden Beck, the 6'4 righty out of Troy, Texas, making his first start of the season. He's got definitely, out of all the hair I've seen, and this is definitely a weird way to start this off, but out of all the hair I've seen, he's definitely got the best flow in the Expedition League. 6'4" righty, 3-0 on the season, 2.93 ERA. He throws a slider to JT Mix, who lays off, but it's called a strike anyway. 30 2/3 innings pitched, 30 strikeouts, 12 walks for Beck. Most recently, last Saturday, as he throws another slider, misses low and away this time. It's 1-1. Went 4 1/3 innings pitched, allowed 2 runs off 6 hits, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk against the Western Nebraska Pioneers. Making his first start for Souris Valley today. Third slider misses off the outside corner. It's 2-1. But JT Mix, starting in his 5th straight game for Sioux Falls, dating back to Sunday against Fremont, lines one into center field. Reese Anderson is there and will make the catch for out number 1. It's something that the Sunfish have been struggling with for quite some time. Hitting the ball well, but hitting it directly at people. And last night, it proved critical as, well, they just couldn't get anybody on, and that led to only 1 run crossing. Benito Garcia is batting second tonight. Norris Mixlr third. Will Olson cleanup. Kenneth Dutka, Zeph Offbauer, Dane Frazier, Mitstro, Declan Beers, the rest of the order. Benito Garcia lines one into left field on the first pitch he sees. That rolls all the way in front of the warning track. He rounded first, but holds up there as the throw in from Drew Miller just was a bit too much for him. So a 1-out single on the first pitch Benito sees. Leads us to Norris Mixlr in his 7th straight start. And in that time, going back to July 16th against the Moo, he's accumulated 6 hits, going 0 for 4 last night with a strikeout. And it was Norris who just had some well-hit balls as he sharply grounds one to the right side. That's through for a base hit into right. Benito Garcia will round second but hold up there. The throw from Jordan Williams sails into the glove of Justin Cooper at short. Back-to-back first pitch singles for Sioux Falls. And they already have half the amount of hits they had through 9 innings last night. It'll bring up Will Olson, the all-star catcher out of Omaha, Nebraska. Finished up his junior year here at Augustana this past season. All-American catcher, Division II. Swings at the first pitch he sees, but fouls this one off. You can't go 3 for 3. That foul ball is going to be presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it. Olson batting .360 since joining the Sunfish. 26 games played. 32 hits, 32 runs, 9 doubles, 2 triples, 6 home runs, 28 RBIs for Olson. The pitch from Beck is inside, a curveball. It's ball 1. Drew Miller, Rhys Anderson, Jordan Williams from left to right in the outfield for Souris Valley. Stephen Moretto at the hot corner, Justin Cooper at short. Declan Buckle, Ethan Moore on the right side at second and first respectively, with Cullen Hannigan back calling the signs behind the dish. Olson fouls off a fastball. It's 1-2. Sioux Falls wearing their black, white whites. Black hat, orange S, teal F, teal brims. White jerseys, teal right sleeve, orange left. Orange Sioux, teal falls across the chest. Orange numbers on the front and back with some black trim. White pants, black trim down the sides. Olson rolls over one down the third base line, but foul. The Sabre Dogs, dark blue hats with, I believe that's their plain logo on the front. Dark blue unis, light blue trim on the sleeves, light blue numbers on the back and front with Sabre Dogs across the front in light blue lettering. Light blue trim down the chest as well. This one's ripped down the left field line. That's going to fall for a base hit. Garcia's rounding third, heading home. Mixlr on his way to third will check out into the outfield, but stop at third. The throw comes into Moretto, and Will Olson has an RBI double, and we're tied in the first inning. 3 straight great base hits for Sioux Falls. Last night they were hitting it right at people. All 3 of these base hits have been solid. Benito Garcia lined one down the left field line. Will Olson as well. Well, Norris McClure pulled it to the right side on the ground, but it got through as it was hit sharply. Kenneth Dutka, the center fielder, takes the first pitch he sees into the backhand of Ethan Moore. Moore will take it himself. McClure was thinking about heading down the line, but dives back headfirst to third instead. Aggressive at-bats for Sioux Falls. It didn't work out for Dutka this time on the 3 unassisted. Olson and McClure stay at their respective bases, and there's 2 away here in the bottom of the first. Hoffpower, 259 from the right side of the plate through 32 games. Takes a slider low and away for ball 1. 2 doubles, including that crucial one Friday night that got him on in the bottom of the 9th to kick things off. He would score the tying run off the single by Carter Tibbetts before a single by Dane Frazier and an intentional walk to Dylan Cricket Danielson. Hoffpower hits this one sharply at Justin Cooper, who falls over. The throw over to first, gets by Moore. McClure scored. Here comes Olson. That stays in the field of play, and Zeph Hoffpower is on. The first run will score. I think that one will be earned as the tough play in the hole to Justin Cooper, I think, would have allowed Hoffpower to get on, and I think it'll be Will Olson scoring then on the E6. If I was to score it, they are giving it a hit to Zeph Hoffpower, and they are giving it an error. That's officially what they're going to call it, is a single with an E4 that scored the run. It's now runner on first with 2 outs. Curveball taken in by Dane Frazier for a strike. So just 1 RBI for Zeph Hoffpower. It's now 3-1 Sunfish in the bottom of the first inning. Dane Frazier, 3-0-2, one of the 4 key base hits in the bottom of the 9th inning and Friday's walk-off. Takes a slider in the dirt, good stop by Hannigan. I can't tell you the last time the Sunfish have scored 3 in the first inning, if they ever have. So a solid lead for them as Jaden Beck is giving up base hits left and right in his first start. Frazier swings on one but fouls it straight down. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Frazier, 5 doubles, 17 RBIs, 27 walks, 19 strikeouts. On Friday went 1 for 4. Himself, Carter Tibbetts, and Zeph Hoffpower, who led off that bottom of the 9th inning, went into the 9th without a base hit. Hoffpower would double, Tibbetts would have his RBI single, Frazier would single as well as he's rung up on a fastball at the knees. He was backing up thinking it was a bit too low and will somberly walk back to the Sunfish dugout. A strikeout looking ends a 3-run inning for the Sunfish. 3 runs off 4 hits, 1 error, 1 left on base. After 1 full, the Sunfish are up 3-1 over the Sabre Dogs in Game 4. Four combined runs scored in the first inning between Souris Valley and Sioux Falls. It's 3-1 Sunfish off 4 hits and an error. Zep off power most likely would have made it to first anyway, which is why he was given a hit. And only one run would have scored, but Justin Cooper decided to throw it over, and he threw it a bit too low as Ethan Moore wasn't able to scoop that one out, causing another run to cross. Cullen Hannigan, the catcher, leads things off for Souris Valley. He lines the first pitch he sees back into right center field for a base hit. Taking a playbook out of what Sioux Falls did in that bottom of the first inning, swinging at the first pitch he sees and getting a base hit off of it. There's one aboard with no outs for Ethan Moore. Hannigan, who went 1 for 2 on Thursday and hasn't seen action since. He came into the game on Friday, but just to catch. Otherwise, he did not play last night. Ethan Moore, 206 from the right side of the plate this season, takes a fastball just a bit in for ball 1. 26 hits off 126 at-bats through 34 games for Souris Valley. 5 doubles, 2 triples, 6 home runs, 35 RBIs. 11 walks, striking out 31 times. He takes a slider low and away. It's 2-0. Santangelo's been struggling a little bit to find the zone. His breaking stuff been breaking a bit too much. It's the stuff that's been working more, though, than the fastball. Well, I stand corrected. 86 at the knees, called strike 1. Moore went 0 for 2 last night with a pair of walks. Was left stranded both times. Big win for Souris Valley last night as they stay tied atop of the Lewis division. Fastball jammed inside is fouled off. It's 2-2. While the Sunfish dropping last night's game proved critical as Fremont, who was down by 5 runs, it was 8-3 in roughly the 5th inning, would come back and end up beating the Spearfish Sasquatch to now have a 3-game cushion on top of the Clark Division standings. Another foul ball. He keeps the count even at 2. And for Souris Valley, taking the Lewis Division is at this point more just bragging rights in the second half. They already claimed the first half division title. They don't get any special treatment if they take the Lewis Division again. It's just bragging rights, as they'll go to who's ever in second to see who takes the second division or the second half division championship. Another ball inside is lined off foul. It's still 2-2 on the foul ball presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it. While the Sunfish and the Moo are fighting, well, and the Spearfish Sasquatch, who are now 2 games behind the Sunfish, 4 behind the Moo. They're all fighting for that second spot in the Clark Division side of the playoffs. Change up misses in. It's 3-2. So runner on first, no outs after the leadoff single by Cullen Hannigan in this 3-1 ball game where the Sunfish lead after 1. Fastball's popped up right side. Hoffpower was starting to chase it, but lets it go out of play. It'll be a critical stretch for the Sunfish. I know I've said critical a lot. I got to start coming up with a different word. It'll be a tough stretch for the Sunfish at that in terms of who's going to be pitching. The rotation is roughly about 4 pitchers deep for Sioux Falls. Fastball's taken low, and that's ball 4. For second walk issued of the ball game for Santangelo, who again, it's just been struggling to find the zone, and that's a good at-bat there for Ethan Moore, fouling off a couple pitches, forcing the full count. It was a leadoff walk in the first inning and a pair of sac flies that would put Justin Cooper across, and the Sabre Dogs up 1-0. So if Santangelo can just get it into the zone, force a hit, I mean, even if Cullen Hannigan, he's singled into right center, but there's another line shot into left center this time. Hannigan's on his way to third. He'll get the stop sign as Dane Frazier's throw bounces into the glove of Norris McClure. So Jordan Williams with the single. And, I mean, the more they single, better base hits than walks, in my opinion. If you're putting it in the zone, it's forcing him to swing, and you can have your defense help behind you. Sunfish are one of the best teams defensively, third least errors, second best fielding percentage in the Expedition League behind Souris Valley. So bases loaded, no outs. Jared Breedwell at the plate. From the University of San Francisco, takes a breaking ball up and in. It's 1-0. 269 average, 7 RBIs, 10 walks, 12 strikeouts through 19 games. Went 1 for 3 on Friday. Sunfish lead the weekend series 2-1. Sabre Dogs trying to tie it up with a win tonight after winning last night. Change up, taken for a strike. It's 1-1. While the Sunfish are looking to take their second series against the Sabre Dogs this season. Took the first one back in June, 2-1. So currently the series sitting at 4-2. If the Sunfish win today's game, they also clinch the season series against the Sabre Dogs. Actually, correction, no they don't. This ball's lifted into center field. My math was a bit off. Dutka on the run, makes the catch. Hannigan tags from third. No, he stops as the throw from Dutka sails into the glove of Will Olson. Hannigan with the smart hold, as he probably would have been out by a couple feet with Dutka's arm solid out there in center field. 1 out with the bases loaded for Reese Anderson. There's a 3-game series in Minot. I, for some reason, thought it was a 2-game series, but I remembered it is 3. So the Sunfish have to win today and win one of the games in Minot in that first week of August to take the season series against the Sabre Dogs. Rhys Anderson out of South Dakota State University batting .299 after going 3 for 4 last night with a run. Grounds this one over softly to Benito Garcia. The throw to Mix. No relay over to first. Mix decides to hold on to it without overthrowing it. It was a slow roller. Garcia had to charge in, so the dribbler scores Hannigan from third, advances Ethan Moore over to third. Jordan Williams is out on the 6-4 fielder's choice. Anderson is now at first with 2 outs and runners at the corners. The scoreboard here is saying it's a tie ball game as they put 2 runs up scoring there. In fact, only 1 did. We're back to the top of the order. This one shot right back up the middle. Now it's a tie ball game. First pitch to Justin Cooper, lines it straight back up the middle. Ethan Moore scores easily. Reese Anderson advances to second, and it's 3-3 now between the Sabre Dogs and the Sunfish in the top of the second inning. This will be a long one, folks. Past few games, it's been pitchers' duels, and whichever offense decided they wanted to get on top of things, that's who decided to win. Tonight, it doesn't seem like it will be a pitcher's duel at all. 3 runs off 3 hits for Souris Valley already. 3 runs off 4 for Sioux Falls. Fastball misses in to Declan Buckle, who had that sac fly to advance Justin Cooper to third his last time up. Sabre Dogs have already gone once through their order. And it's only the top of the second inning. Ground ball foul down the third baseline. Evens the count up at 1. So while Western Nebraska took the first half championship after basically a spiral downward for the Fremont Moo near the end of the first half, they started off on an 11-game winning streak before just losing game after game after game. Foul tip into the dirt makes it a 1-2 count for Declan Buckle, excuse me. Western Nebraska currently on a 5-game losing streak after dropping their game last night to the Hastings Sodbusters. So they're sitting comfortably at 9-9. Comfortably with all the sarcasm implied. But again, they already have a spot in the playoffs. They're just looking for bragging rights, as is Souris Valley. But Spearfish, Sioux Falls, and Fremont battling for that top spot in the Clark division, that spot in the playoffs. A curveball gets Buckle chasing. That's the first strikeout of the evening for Santangelo. The Sabre Dogs respond to the 3 scored in the bottom of the first by Sioux Falls by scoring 2 of their own and tying up the ball game. 2 runs off 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on base, 3 hits, excuse me, no errors, 2 left on base. It's 3-3 as we head to the bottom of the second. Due up Mitch Stroh, Declan Beers, and JT Mix.
Sunfish, the right fielder, number 19,
Mitch Stroh, one of the 4 Augustana Vikings in this evening's lineup. All 4 of them, and if Tom's son makes an appearance, every single Augustana Viking will make an appearance in tonight's game. Curveball, or changeup, excuse me, called a strike at the knees to Mitch Stroh. It's a 3-3 ball game after 2 runs cross in the top half of this inning for Souris Valley. Stroh rips this one into left field. Drew Miller on the run and makes the catch. Back to the old ways for the Sunfish, hitting a ball right at someone. That's just unfortunate. Again, that's not taking a rip at anybody. It's just unfortunate for Sioux Falls. They're barreling up these balls. They're getting their timing right. And when there's a strike thrown and they're hitting the ball, that's all you can ask for. Declan Beers. I can't believe I already did it this early. Swings up the first pitch and grounds it to Declan Buckle. The Declans. As that one's in time to first. I was going to say Declan Beers, the Augustana Viking. Instead I said Declan Buckle. Again, Declan is not something that I find would be a common name. There's nothing wrong. It's a great name. I love Declan Beers, and I'm sure Declan Buckle is a fantastic human as well. But when you have 2 guys and their name is Declan B, it's easy to get them mixed up. 2 outs already. JT Mix swings at the first pitch. He sees, fouls it off. It's 0-1. So 3-3 ball game in the bottom of the second inning. 2 quick outs for Sioux Falls. Brings us to JT Mix, who flew out to center his last time up in that 3-run first inning for Sioux Falls. Takes this one opposite way. Jordan Williams on the run at the foul line. That's going to fall foul on the dive. Williams laid out for it. Kind of jumped up as to fly through the air and then fell down. So really Superman did, if you're really thinking about it. Because when people think of Superman, and they kind of think of where you're horizontal with the ground. And as nerdy as this going to sound, well, Superman, as he takes off, you have to go at the upward angle, obviously. So I think those jumps up and away is more of a Supermaning. That's just getting technical and me just being smart about it. Here's the 0-2 to Mix. Grounded up the middle, drifting over is Cooper. He can't get a hold of it, and that goes into center field for a base hit. 2-out single for Mix. The hits just keep on coming for Sioux Falls. Mix extends his hitting streak to 4. And with a runner on, it'll be Benito Garcia who singled his last time up. Garcia's on a bit of a hitting streak himself. 8 straight games now, Garcia has gotten a hit. He'll take a slider low and away for strike 1. So the Sunfish have really turned things around this season, especially for guys who have been here all season. It's been fun to watch them shake the cobwebs off, get into a better state of mind, and really bond with the newer players who keep coming in. Another slider low and away makes it a 1-1 count. Benito, Kenneth Dutka, Zeph Off-Power, Declan Beers are the ones in tonight's lineup who have been here since day 1. Garcia takes a breaking ball outside. It's 1-2. So that's called on the corner. But after starting the season 0-5, kind of getting a rhythm going, they would go and win 3 straight before losing 3 straight to the Pier Trappers. So just a streaky start as JT Mix taking a bit of a secondary lead at first. Garcia swings on this one and it bloops into right field for a base hit. Jordan Williams can't come up with it, but JT Mix too slow of a reaction time to head to third. And back-to-back singles puts a runner in scoring position for Sioux Falls. While the hard-hit balls in the first inning made it a lot easier for the runners to get around, this time Sunfish just kind of pushing balls everywhere. Started off with Mitch Stroh just lining one into left field to Drew Miller. It's just really hitting them where they're not. That's the name of the game. Mixlr, seeing his second pitch of the game, fouls it off. Norris playing in his 7th straight game for Sioux Falls, batting .294. 3 doubles, 2 home runs, 18 RBIs. Coming into today's game, he singled his last time up. Shoots this one down the left field line, but that slice is just a bit foul. It's no balls and 2 strikes to Mixlr. So 2 runners on, 2 outs, 0-2 count. Tied at 3-3 here in the bottom of the second. Already in the bottom of the 5th inning. We'll get to that in a moment. Ground ball over to the right side. Declan Buckle fires it to first, and the Sunfish, after putting together 2 nice 2-out singles, leave those 2 stranded on the ground out to second. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on base. In the bottom of the 5th inning from historic Moeller Field, the Spearfish Sasquatch are already up on the move 5-3, so a good sign for the Sunfish. We'll be following that game closely here on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. We return for the top of the 3rd. Drew Miller, who has an RBI already tonight with a sac fly in the first that drove in Justin Cooper. Gets his second round against Andalo Santangelo. And right as we went into the break, I said it was the Sasquatch up 5-3 over the Moo. In the bottom of the fifth, it is already 5-4 as the Moose scored in the bottom of the fifth. We're in the top of the sixth at Mueller Field. Change up misses away to the lefty Miller. It's 1-0. Santangelo kicks and delivers a fastball away, and he's just not in his groove, is Santangelo. I was talking with Walker Bullington in the pregame today, and Walker was saying in the last two outings for Santangelo, he's found his groove, found his mojo, drops a changeup in there, swung on and missed. It's 2-1. And he really has. 5 innings in his last outing, 6 the one previous, only allowed 3 runs through those 2 games. This one's ripped sharply into right field. Stroh on the run. He'll let it bounce up against the wall down the right field line. Stroh up and firing, and Drew Miller trots into second with a leadoff double. 3 straight innings of the leadoff man getting on for Souris Valley, and that's not something you want. 3-10 to the right field corner, and that ball on the fly bounced up just to the left of the 3-10. So the 4th hit of the night for Souris Valley. 4 in the past 2 innings. They put up a 3 spot in the second, scoring twice off of that. It's 3-3 in the top of the 3rd for Steven Moretto, who lines sharply to Norris McClure. He'll take a changeup just a bit inside for ball 1. Alex Shoemaker calling the balls and strikes tonight behind the plate. He's not a fan of the high pitches. Likes to call them a bit lower and isn't a fan of inside pitches either. The 1-0. Line sharply up the middle. That'll fall in front of Kenneth Dutka for a single. Miller will ease up at third, and we have runners at the corners with no outs. The first 3 last inning got on, and 2 runs would score. Right now the first 2 are on, and there's 2 runners at the corners for Cullen Hannigan, who kicked off that second inning with a single of his own. 5 hits through just 2 innings for Santangelo. He allowed 9 in his last 2 outings combined. Or 7. Math's hard sometimes. 4 + 3 is 7. Hannigan fouls off the first pitch he sees, a fastball. So not the best outing for Santangelo. He's had some where in Weed City he went 1 inning, allowed 3 earned runs. Sunfish would go and win that one. Back on June 28th in Fremont, 4 innings, allowed 4 runs, but the offense was behind him 19-7 against the Moo that game. Curveball in the dirt is called ball 1. And usually, especially in the past 2 outings, when Santangelo's grooving, you'll see a nice smile on his face. You can see he's having a good time. You can tell by his body language. Right now, doesn't look that way. Fastball brushes back Hannigan just a little bit. It's 2 balls and a strike. With a lot of pitchers leaving as of recent, Walker Bullington is in a tough predicament trying to figure out, well, who's going to come in? A shot right back up the middle, and it's a 4-3 ball game on the single from Cullen Hannigan. Some nice hitting for the Sabre Dogs in this one. They just wait for their pitch, and when they're getting it, they're taking it everywhere. Will Olson will come out and just talk to his pitcher, calm him down before he faces Ethan Moore, who walked last time. And with a strike zone that we're seeing already tonight, it's tough for a guy like Santangelo, who likes to paint the corners, doesn't have too much velocity behind that fastball, relies more on his changeup and his curveball. And when he has to leave a breaking ball over the plate or even throw a fastball in the strike zone, as the Sabre Dogs are seeing pitches outside of the zone, taking balls, forcing his pitch count up. And with a team like the Sabre Dogs who can hit very well, as that one's lifted into center field. Morrow's back on second, was looking to tag, but is not testing the arm of Dutka. Just juking him out, getting a feel for it. With a Sabre Dogs team that can piece up a nice hit like that, it's dangerous for Santangelo, leaving some pitches over the plate. And with a strike zone from Alex Shoemaker, it's even tougher for him because he can't paint those edges. He's forced to throw something over the plate. One out, Jordan Williams singled and was out number one of that fielder's choice in the second inning. Takes a curveball, low and in. I think that one must have been just a bit too inside for Alex Shoemaker because I thought that was at the knees. And when you're facing the Sabre Dogs, you can't put stuff over the plate because they will take it every which way across this field and just get runners on and drive them in. Fastball's in the dirt. It's 2-0. 4 runs now off 6 hits, 1 error for Souris Valley. 3 runs off 6 hits for the Sunfish. 2 runners on, 1 out, top of the 3rd inning. Sabre Dogs have now scored a run in every inning of this ball game. Steven Morrow dancing at second as no one's holding on. Santangelo throws back as Mix was inching in, but Morrow read that all the way. Clouds are kind of starting to roll in. And from what I was told by our general manager, Nick Moen, is there might be some rain in the forecast tonight. Fastball misses low. It's 2-0. 3-0, correction. Yeah, 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. It looks like there's just 30% chance of showers. Nothing too bad. And by that time, we're usually done with. Here at Karras Park. Change up misses low and in, and Santangelo has walked the bases loaded. So the second straight inning where Santangelo has allowed the bases loaded. This time, it's a little more comfortable as there's 1 out. Instead of last inning, it was to kick off the second with the bases loaded, no outs. Jared Breedwell in that second inning flew out to center field. He's 0 for 1 on the evening. He gets hit, the first pitch thrown to him, and it's now a 2-run ball game. Steven Morrow scores. Cullen Hannigan is making his way over to third. Jordan Williams is on second now. Bases are still loaded for Reese Anderson. Will Olson once again goes out to talk to his pitcher. And Santangelo's been missing in. He hasn't thrown a slider in quite a bit. Been throwing more of the fastball, changeup, curveball combination. And it's when he's like Brooks Capel. When his changeup's working, he's working. Tonight his changeup is just missing. So 1 out, 5-3 ball game. And this just shows that the Sunfish bats need to continue to stay hot. 6 hits already through 2 innings. And it's a game like this. Walker Bullington has told me off the air there's at least 2 or 3 games a week we need to score 8 runs in this league. And that's how it is, especially against a team like the Sabre Dogs, who average just about 9 runs a game. First pitch to Anderson is in the dirt for ball 1. Sun is now hidden behind the clouds, so a darker field here at Ronkin. High chopper just in front of the plate. Santangelo charging in, flips it to Will Olson, who's taken out on the slide. The toss was late. Cullen Hannigan slid hard into Will Olson at the plate. And I get you need to slide, and Olson was standing on top of it, and I think that was maybe a bit too aggressive of a slide by Hannigan, if I do say so myself. Another one crosses on the single by Anderson. Justin Cooper who's already 1 for 1 and scored a run after he singled in the second, has now had a plate appearance in every inning for the Sabre Dogs. Takes a changeup low for ball 1. I stand corrected. Shoemaker usually likes to call the low pitches. There he didn't. It's 1-0. This will be a long night, folks. 6-3 already in the top of the third. This one's lined sharply into left center field. Frazier on the run makes the catch. Taking from third is Williams. He'll get there easily. It's 7-3 Sabre Dogs. A sac fly by Justin Cooper extends the lead for Souris Valley. And this is the worst case scenario for Walker Bullington and the Sunfish. Andrew Garcia kicked off the series pitching on Thursday. Got the win. Kenneth Dutka on Friday, a walk-off win for Sioux Falls. Brooks Capel, the third starter in this dwindling Sunfish bullpen, or rotation, if you will. Fastball called a strike at the knees to Declan Buckle. But arms just kind of keep leaving for Sioux Falls. John Baker, Logan Hunt, the two newest pitchers. The 0-1. Chopper over to short for Garcia. He'll throw it to second for the force out. But with the arms dwindling, the Sunfish need to get some long starts for their pitchers. And with a potential bullpen game or even position player pitching game tomorrow, Santangelo needs to get, well, a long start tonight. And hopefully he can recover after that inning, in which the Sabre Dogs scored 4 and are now up 7-3 as we head to the bottom of the third.
We'll have to continue this the next inning.
Sunfish are back against the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs here at Karras Park in the bottom of the third inning on Christmas in July. Christmas in July, of course, July 25th. What are we, 5 months away from Christmas? Gotta love Christmas in July. Already gets you excited for the festivities. Sunfish are going to need a lot of presence tonight. Presence at the plate, spelled differently, of course, but also presence in runs. It's 7-3 as Olsen rips this one into the diving glove of Steven Morrow. Morrow up and throwing, and the stretch by Ethan Moore at first is in time. A nice diving play at third for the Sabre Dogs, Morrow. As a Sunfish, that's something you hate to see. But as a Sabre Dogs fan, or even just a baseball fan in general, you love defensive stops like that. The lefty Kenneth Dutka against the righty Jaden Beck with one out. Beck tosses a fastball on the inside for strike one. Beck in his first start has recovered quite nicely after allowing 3 runs off 4 hits in the first inning. The 0-1 is lined up the middle. That's going to fall into center field for a base hit. A nice blooper up the middle. Dutka was the anti-beer batter of the evening. gets a hit, and it's dollar off beers here at Karras Park. Fans, I keep saying, you get some nice beer deals. It's a fun atmosphere here at Karras Park. We'd love to see more of you come out. We don't have too many home games left. 2 this week on Monday and Tuesday before an 8-game road stand, and then 2 to close out the season against Fremont. A change up low and away, swung on and missed by Zeph Hoffpower, 0-1. Zeph singled in the first inning, and it was the E4 that would score Will Olson to give the Sunfish 3 runs, so it's just a 4-run ball game. A slider catches the outside corner to the righty Hoffpower. It's 0-2. So runner on first, 1 out. Dutka now on a 4-game hitting streak. Had 2 against the Sodbusters last Wednesday. 2 against the Moo last Saturday. 1 last night against the Sabre Dogs. And now 1 tonight. The 0-2's flown out to center field. Reese Anderson trotting in will make the catch for out number 2. So the bats have apparently cooled off for Sioux Falls. Will Olson had a nice sharply hit ground ball to third, and Kenneth Dutka singled, but Zeph Hoffpower with a little blooper. Mitch Stroh and Declan Beers. Well, Mitch Stroh's was lined hard, but Declan Beers and Norris Mixlr just grounding out after 2 singles. So 7 hits for the Sunfish through 2 2/3 innings, but they got to get a little bit more base runners on, maybe wait out a few more pitches, as the Sabre Dogs are. Except that'll be hard when Jaden Beck's throwing stuff like that. A curveball hits on the outside corner for strike 1. Frazier struck out looking his last time up to end that first inning. No balls and a strike. Frazier lines this one into the backhand of Justin Cooper. Cooper will relay it to Buckle at second for out number 3. I may have spoken a bit too soon. The Sunfish still getting a piece of it, but they're back to their old ways of hitting it right at one of the Sabre Dogs defenders. Some nice plays by the Sabre Dogs infield. Keeps the Sunfish scoreless for the second straight inning. 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. After 3 full from Karras Park, it's the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs 7, the Sioux Falls Sunfish 3. The Sabre Dogs hit through their entire lineup last inning. Got through all 9, and so Drew Miller, who doubled to kick off that third inning, leads things off here in the top of the 4th with a 4-run lead over Sioux Falls. Angelo Santangelo back on the mound. This one's lifted into left center field. Dutka will have enough time to get over there and make the catch for out number 1. That's all the Sunfish need to do, and that's easier said than done. I know I'm kind of sounding like, oh, it's easy for you to say behind the broadcast booth. They need to hit it where people aren't. They need to allow Santangelo needs to throw something to allow the Sabre Dogs to put it into play. I get that's a lot easier to say than do, but I mean, that's really all that needs to happen. Sunfish are barreling up the ball, and the Sabre Dogs are just playing it defensively well. Santangelo throws a curveball in the dirt. It's 1-0. Steven Moretto singled and scored in the third. He's now 1 for 2 after lining out to Norris Mixlr the first time up. Fastball up and in. Morrow turns away, and it's 2-0. Steven Morrow has been having a heck of a series, both defensively and offensively. He's playing in just his third game, but last night went 2 for 4 with a double. He takes a fastball low. It's 3-0. Tonight he already has a double, or single, excuse me. But he has an RBI in both of those games. Here's the 3-0. Fastball taken on the lower inside corner for strike one. Morrow kind of froze there. I think he thought it might have been a bit lower, but instead kind of gives a little look back at Alex Shoemaker and nods. It's like, yeah. Unless Shoemaker was saying, yeah, that might have been a ball. Here's the 3-1. Chopped down the third base line into the hands of Alex Miklos in the third base coach's box. That foul ball presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it. Keg Chicken. I think I've started to understand that read a little bit more. You order it because you heard so much about it from me. You eat it, realize it's really good, and then you start to crave it more, so then you repeat the process. I think that's how it's supposed to be. Who knows? Payoff pitch is lined straight at Benito Garcia. Steven Morrow, again, taking a page out of the Sunfish playbook, lining it directly at Benito Garcia. If he continues to work like that, he's just got to get JT Mix and Zeph off power to get the, what do we call that, the cycle of lineouts. 2 outs for Cullen Hannigan, who's had a single in the past 2 innings, scored both of those times. 7-3 ball game here in the top of the 4th. Santangelo's fastball misses in the dirt low and away. Western Nebraska Pioneers come to town for the first time this season tomorrow and Tuesday as Hannigan fouls off a fastball. It's 1-1. For a team that is in the Sunfish's division, as are the Western Nebraska Pioneers, Sioux Falls and Western Nebraska will play each other the least amount of times that any other Clark Division team will play Sioux Falls, just twice. The 1-1 is a curveball, changeup actually, fouled off. It's 1-2. With one of the original schedule changes that happened back July 11th, it was supposed to be this 4-game series against Souris Valley, 2 against Western Nebraska, then 2 against Spearfish. This one's poked over the head of Zeph off power down the right field line. Hannigan rounds first sharply. Will make his way back as he thought it went a little deeper. Was going to try and test out for second, but Mitch Stroh got to it too quickly. 3 straight singles for Cullen Hannigan. 3 straight in 3 innings. Heck of a night for the Sabre Dogs catcher. It'll now be Ethan Moore, who walked and scored in the second, flew out last inning for the out number 1. There's now 2 outs with a runner on first. A slider bounces away from Will Olson, but into the field of play, so Hannigan will stay put. But so after the 2 games against Spearfish, it was supposed to be a 3-game trip to Western Nebraska against the Pioneers. But instead, the next night, it was changed to a 3-game series in Casper. Hannigan's off on the pitch. Olson up and firing. The throw is late. A nice throw from Olson. A nice tag by JT Mix, but Santangelo on the pitch. I think he just went through his delivery a bit slower than usual, and Hannigan read it like a book. 2 balls, no strikes now to Ethan Moore with a runner in scoring position. 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning. Santangelo kicks and delivers. A slider low and away. It's 3-0 now to Moore. Was that a 3-game trip to Casper? So only 2 games against Western Nebraska this season. I think the Sunfish have seen Lewis Division teams more than some of the members of the Clark Division. Change up. Just nicks the lower inside corner. It's 3-1 to the righty Moore. After this series, the Sunfish will have played the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs 7 times, with 3 more coming in August. This one's ripped down the left field line, but into the beer garden. Foul. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Ethan Moore. So 10 times against the Sabre Dogs. No games against Mining City, Badlands, or Canyon County. 3 games against Casper, which will be more than the 2 against Western Nebraska. And I have to do a little bit of math for how many they've played against Wheat City. A blooper into right center field, but Kenneth Dutka called off by Mitch Stroh at the last second. The out is made, and a runner is left stranded. Colin Hannigan with the stolen base is left stranded in scoring position, and it's the first inning that they're held scoreless. No runs off 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. They still hold a 4-run lead as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Declan Beers and JT Mix to lead things off for the 2nd time this game. The last time it happened, Mitch Stroh flew out to left field on a hard liner. Declan Beers grounded out, and JT Mix would single. Sunfish looking for 3 base hits, or maybe a walk mixed in there, as they're down by 4 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Good start as a slider misses as it bounces off the plate for ball 1. Well, I did some calculations in between innings. The team that the Sunfish play the most this season is the Pier Trappers. Another slider hits at the heart of the plate, right at the belt of Mitch Stroh. It's 1-1. But 13 or 15 times against Pier. All of that was in the month of June, with a few games at the beginning of July. A swing and a miss on a slider away. It's 1-2. So 15 times in 30 days against the Trappers. Sunfish haven't seen them since the 4th of July. Fremont Moo, by the end of the season, will have played Sioux Falls 13 times as Stroh chases a fastball high for strike number 3, out number 1. That's just strikeout number 2 for Jaden Beck in this outing. Beck through 3 1/3 innings has just 44 pitches. So just over 10 pitches an inning. Actually, no, yeah, just about over 10 pitches an inning, as Declan Beers fouls off a breaking ball for strike 1. And in terms of Clark Division or Lewis Division teams, the Sunfish will play 24 games by the end of the season against Lewis Division teams, 3 against Casper, 10 against Souris Valley, 11 against Wheat City. Breaking ball misses away. It's 1-1. So 24 games against Lewis Division teams. And between Spearfish, Western Nebraska, and Hastings, Sunfish will play those three teams 12 times, and they're in their division. Change up misses low and away. It's 2-1. While there's nothing wrong with playing 24 of a 64-game season against a team in the other division, Beers fouls off a fastball. It's 2-2. That foul ball presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it. Order it again, eat it again, crave it again. Keg Chicken. But while 24 games in a 64-game season gives you 30 games against the other 5 teams in your division, ground ball over to the right side. Declan Buckle will throw out the other Declan at first, and we have 2 away in the bottom of the 4th inning. 6 games against everyone in the Clark division, but it'd be one thing if the Sunfish played 6 games against all the other teams in the Clark division, you know? Instead of 13 games against Fremont, who's the top of the division, 15 games against Pierre, who's at the bottom of the division, and then the other 3 teams just 12 times. Just doesn't make all too much sense. JT mix up with 2 outs, takes a fastball on the outside corner of the plate for strike 1. And then also, when you play other teams in the Lewis division, 10 games against the Sabre Dogs, who in both halves of the season have been on top of their division. Mix lifts this one into shallow right center field. That'll fall in the Bermuda Triangle past a diving Declan Buckle. An exact same replica of the 2nd inning. Leadoff guys and Mitch Stroh and Declan Beers get out, and JT Mix bloops a single into center field for a runner on with 2 outs. Hit number 8 for the Sunfish. There have been 15 total hits between the combined teams in this 7-3 ball game. 2 outs, runner on first. Jaden Beck kicks and delivers. Garcia takes a fastball for a strike. And while in the first half of the season, I maybe would have complained a little bit more about those schedules, because the Sunfish were struggling, in complete honesty, but now they've figured their stuff out, and they're actually succeeding against some of these teams who are leading their divisions. A fastball misses a bit away for ball 1. It also would just be nice, though, to see some of these other teams. And when you have Fremont, who's on top of the division, playing Hastings upwards of 20-ish times, as Garcia chases a breaking ball low and in the dirt, it's 1-2. That's a bit questionable as well, and that's no shot to Hastings. They've proven that they can hang with the best of them, including the Sunfish and the Moo, taking several games from the Moo, but when you see the same team upwards of 20 times, it's easy to try and find their number in one team to start benefiting a little bit more. Garcia flies this one down the right field line. Originally giving chase was Williams. He'll let that hook out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, with a runner on first in the form of JT Mix. The Western Nebraska Pioneers currently on a 5-game losing streak, so they'll be out for some vengeance against the baseball gods. Garcia swings through a curveball and misses, and JT Mix is left stranded at first. Strikeout number 3 for Jaden Beck, the 3rd straight inning that the Sunfish remain scoreless. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. The Sunfish have left 5 on through 4 innings, and they trail by 4 after 4 from Karras Park. 7-3 is your score as we head into the top of the 5th inning. Jordan Williams, Jared Breedwell, Reese Anderson, the 7-8-9, will not face off against Andalo Santangelo for a third time. No, they'll face off against the newly rehabbed Pete Weil. Broken bat blooper into right center field will fall into the glove of Mitch Stroh for out number 1. Already off to a great start for Weil. He had done some rehab on his ankle, which had been causing him problems since a series in Pier. He came in on Thursday to close out the game with a third of an inning. Struck out the only batter he faced, got the save. Pete throws a fastball inside to Jared Breedwell, called strike 1. Andalo Santangelo goes 4 innings today as a curveball's fouled off. It's 0-2. D'Lo 4 innings, 7 runs off 7 hits, 3 walks, 1 strikeout. Sunfish have a 4-run deficit, and they haven't scored since their 3 runs in the first. Jaden Beck and the Sabre Dogs defense have been holding Sioux Falls quite well. Breedwell fouls off another fastball. It's still 0-2. And after the game on Thursday, just 1 batter faced a strikeout for Pete. Curveball is grounded sharply into the glove off JT Mix. The ball off the shortstop's thrown to Zeph Offpower for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down for Weil. It'll be Reese Anderson, who reached on a fielder's choice in the second and singled in the third. But I asked Pete how his ankle was doing after throwing a strikeout and just making sure everything was feeling good. He's like, yep, never felt better. Fastball almost grazes the jersey of Anderson. That's how inside it was. It's 1-0. Seven runs off 7 hits, 1 error for Souris Valley, 3 runs off 8 hits for the Sunfish. Weil shakes off a couple from catcher Will Olson before delivering. Changeup is fouled off. It's 1-1. In the 4th quarter, from Tokyo, it's Japan and USA and men's water polo. Big water polo fans up here in the Karras Park press box. Myself and our producer Sean. We were watching USA women's water polo the other evening. USA would win that one. Slider cuts across the zone for strike 2. It's 1-2. USA up with 6 minutes left in the 4th quarter, 12-10 over Japan. I believe these are just the qualifiers. Here's the 1-2 from Weil. Grounded slowly over to Benito Garcia. Throws it over to Hoffpower. And it's a 3 up, 3 down. The first of the game for Souris Valley via Pete Weil on the mound. He comes in and he does quick work, does Pete. Took him just 9 pitches. It's somewhat of an immaculate inning. Not 3 strikes to each batter, but 9 pitches nonetheless. It's 7-3 as we head to the bottom of the 5th from Karras Park.
Norris McClure.
It's the lefty Norris McClure up against the righty Jaden Beck. Beck has been quite efficient through 4 innings, throwing 56 pitches. Pitch number 57 is a fastball swung on and missed by McClure, who's 1 for 2 tonight. Seemed like it was going to be a battle of the offenses, but instead Jaden Beck hasn't allowed a run since the first inning, as his slider is going to bounce off home plate for ball 1. I think the sun is officially set, or at least it's so far behind clouds that it has gotten very overcast here at Karras Park. The lights are on. McClure lines this one into right field. That's going to fall in front of Jordan Williams for a base hit. Fastball left over the plate, pulled up by Norris McClure. That's his first base hit since the first. And the leadoff man is on for the first time this game for Sioux Falls. A fly out, a ground out, and a strikeout have been the leadoff man's fate through the first 4 innings. But now in the 5th, Norris McClure changes that. 2 for 3 on the night. In the past 5 games, a broken back ground ball to Justin Cooper. Cooper to Buckle. The throw over to first is in time. A 6-4-3 double play. Got our hopes up just a little bit there, and unfortunately, a broken bat ground ball, another piece of lumber to add on to the giant bonfire that is the Sunfish Broken Bat Club. But Norris McClure in his last 5 games has 3 multi-hit games. He's hit in 4 of the last 5. Kenneth Dutka shoots one into left center field. Calling off Miller is Anderson, who will make the catch on the run. An unofficial 3-up, 3-down inning. Another quick one for Jaden Beck, thanks to the aggressive bats of the Sioux Falls Sunfish. No runs off 1 hit, no errors, no one left on base. After 5, it's the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs 7, the Sioux Falls Sunfish 3 on the Sunfish Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. Pete Weil, who threw 9 pitches to go 3 up, 3 down in his first inning of work in the 5th, returns to the mound for the top of the order. Justin Cooper, Declan Buckle, Drew Miller here in the top of the 6th inning. Justin Cooper fouls off a fastball at the knees for strike 1. That fastball or foul ball, the foul ball off the fastball, is presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it. We'd like to also thank Norberg Paints for sponsoring the Sunfish. Paint up. 88-mile-an-hour fastball in. Just a bit too much for Justin Cooper. He swings and misses. It's 0-2. Of course, the Paint Up moniker for Norberg Paints is via Norris McClure, who was on the Fish Tank podcast a few weeks ago. Curveball misses just away. Weil was trying to paint the corner and at least get a chase, but Cooper with the good eye lays off. It's 1-2. From historic Moeller Field in Fremont, it's 8-7 Sasquatch in the bottom of the 7th. A fastball at the knees rings up Cooper looking. First strikeout of the game for Pete Weil. First strikeout by a Sabre Dog since the second inning. Declan Buckle was the only one up until this point. And with Justin Cooper being the anti-beer batter, or the beer batter, not the anti-beer batter, the beer batter. He strikes out as $1 off beers here at Karras Park. Get off your couch, go to your fridge, grab one. It's on me. Declan Buckle takes a curveball just a bit in. It's 1-0. So the Moo and the Sasquatch are keeping it close. Fastball is too much to handle for Declan Buckle. He whiffs. It's 1-1. It's been a heck of a series between the Moo and the Sasquatch. Fremont has taken the last two, including a no-hitter Friday night. Fastball down the heart of the plate's called a strike, taken. It's 1-2. So no-hitter by Trent Sellers Friday night. And then a come-from-behind victory last night. Changeup is lined into right field. Stroll let that one fall for a base hit. First base runner since Cullen Hannigan singled with 2 outs in the 4th. Base hits now read 8 for the Sabre Dogs, 9 for the Sunfish. It's the first lefty that Pete Weil will do battle with. The lefty Drew Miller. Had an RBI sac fly in the first, doubled and scored in the 3rd, and flew out in the 4th. Here's a runner on with 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Change up, thrown just a bit low and in. It's 1-0. So Sasquatch trying not to get the clean sweep to Fremont. Also trying, if the Sunfish lose tonight, want to gain that game back both on the Moo and the Sunfish. The 1-0 is taken high and deep to center field. Dutka with enough time to make the catch on that one in deep center field, but still in front of the warning track. There's 2 away in the top of the 6th inning. Two outs for Steven Moretto. He's lined to third, lined to short, and singled and scored. So with 2 outs and a runner on, with the Sabre Dogs not having scored since the 3rd, Moretto looking to extend this lead for Souris Valley. Takes this one. First pitch he sees, high and deep to left center field. Dutka and Frazier at the wall. It'll bounce off the base of the wall. Buckle is on his way around third. He'll stand up at home, and an RBI double with 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning extends the lead for Souris Valley. Buckle scores all the way from first on a ball that looked all but gone to deep left center field. It was too much to handle for Dane Frazier and Kenneth Dutka. And it's now 8-3 Sabre Dogs. The catcher Cullen Hannigan, who's 3 for 3 tonight. Singled back in the 4th and hasn't had an at-bat since. Pete Weil went 3 up, 3 down in the 5th on 9 pitches and thought he had another nice inning with 2 outs and just 1 runner on. Steven Moretto changed that. Change up high makes it a 1-0 count. Your final from Oregon Trail Park Stadium. The Western Nebraska Pioneers lose another one. The Hastings Sodbusters complete the sweep, winning both games in the series against the Pioneers. This time a breaking ball is called. A strike, the count's even at 1. Western Nebraska Pioneers are now on a 6-game losing streak after dropping their game 5-4 to Hastings. For the first time all season, the Pioneers are now below 500. The 1-1 is a fastball that just paints the outside corner. It's 1-2. in fact, with the loss, Western Nebraska now falls to 32-18 overall on the season. So still quite a bit of ways above 500 overall, as this pitch will be fouled into the netting. It's 1-2. But after going 23-8 in the first half, finishing this first half of the season, winning 7 of their last 10, the Pioneers have now lost 7 of their last 10, currently on their 5-game losing streak. Runner on second, 2 outs. Here's the 1-2, taken low and away. It's 2-2. Oh, if Cullen Hannigan were just number 22. We have 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and Cullen Hannigan is number 23. Almost had Deuce's Wild Supreme. 8-3 ball game after the 2-out double by Steven Moretto, who is still out at second. Sunfish haven't scored since the first. Hannigan lifts this one down the right field line, but it's hooking foul. Sunfish have come back from 5-run deficits. Haven't come back all the way, but they've made it close, so it's not impossible. And they have Jaden Beck's number. They're making contact. He doesn't have too many strikeouts, so the Sunfish are chasing it, and Cullen Hannigan chases that one right there. Second strikeout of the game and of the inning for Pete Weil, but a run scores off 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on base. It's now 8-3 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Due up for the Sunfish, Hoffpower, Frazier, and Stroh. I'm sure you caught the tail end of that conversation, but our wonderful general manager Nick Moen just took a handful of facial tissues and went full LeBron James on them, sending them into the air like they were snowflakes, or so he says. Just threw a bunch of Kleenexes on me. Who needs an excuse to do that? His excuse, it's Christmas in July. Represented snow falling. Thank you, Nick, for that, as he has so graciously picked up the press box, as long as I didn't have to do it. First pitch from Jaden Beck gets a half swing out of Zeph Hoffpower, but he did go. It's strike 1. Christmas in July. I wonder how that became a thing. Christmas in July. Hoffpower sends this one into right field. Going back is Williams. At the edge of the warning track, he'll make the catch for out number 1. Just hit that one off the edge of the bat, did Hoffpower. Missed it by that much. And there's 1 out for the left fielder Dane Frazier. A Christmas in July. Does anybody in the chat know where Christmas in July came from? If you do, put it in the Mixlr chat or the Sunfish live stream on YouTube chat. Give me an answer, just even if it's not the correct answer, just what you guess, let me know. Change up, catches the outside corner. Dane Frazier's behind 0-1. Jaden Beck, almost hits Dane Frazier on that one. It's 1-1. But Beck in his first start has already gone 5 1/3 innings, which even just the 5 innings was his longest start. Breaking ball, his half swung, but Alex Shoemaker said yes, he went. It's 1-2 to Frazier. Prior to tonight's game, Beck had only gone 4 innings, one of them against the Sunfish, where he allowed 3 earned runs off 6 hits. The 1-2 swung on, a late swing by Frazier on the changeup. That's strikeout number 4 for Jaden Beck. And it's Mitch Stroh, who was strikeout number 2 back in the 4th after flying out to left in the 2nd. The bats have officially cooled off for Sioux Falls. Leadoff single by Norris McClure in the 5th would lead to a double play and then a flyout. A long way to come back in this 5-run deficit. Fastball is called a strike on the outside corner. Once again, Christmas in July. I'll have to look it up unless someone in the chat has any idea. Again, put it in the chat. Let me know. Change up misses away. It's 1-1. The 1-1 with 2 outs drops in on the corner. It's 1-2. So I actually found it. Didn't think there was actually going to be something, but it became a cultural staple each year. Back in 1934, Stroh turns on one, but the ground ball goes foul. It's 1-2. 1933 at a girls' camp called Keystone Camp in Brevard, North Carolina. Interesting. Not even a baseball thing. The 1-2, high chopper over to Cooper. Stabs it out of the air, fires across his chest, and it's in time for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down in the 6th. The Sunfish still have not scored since their 3-run first inning. And on Christmas in July, Santa needs to bring the Sunfish a couple of runs. They trail by 5 as we head to the 7th. Ethan Moore, Jordan Williams, Jared Breedwell. Won't have the pleasure of meeting Pete Weil. They'll instead meet his 6'5" righty teammate Austin Oblas, who throws a slider low and away for ball one. Moore had 3 straight at-bats with a walk and a run in the second, followed by 2 flyouts in the third and fourth. Now having to wait all the way until the 7th to get another plate appearance. Changeup is swung on and missed from Austin Oblas, evening the count at 1-1. Oblas making his 11th appearance on the mound, all in relief. 2-2 on the season with a 3.5 ERA. 1 save through 18 innings pitched. A fouled changeup makes it a 1-2 count. 20 strikeouts, 13 walks for Oblas. His last appearance came when he pitched an inning in the loss against Fremont. It was him who was awarded the loss after allowing the game, or the go-ahead run, to cross in that 9th inning. Fastball is called a strike on the outside corner, and Moore is sent packing for out number 1. It's actually the 10th inning. Oblas would come in to close out the 9th with the Moo ahead by 1. The Sunfish would tie it up, and Oblas would allow another run to cross in the 10th. 2 of them would cross, 1 would be earned off 2 hits. 2 walks and a strikeout. He'll throw a fastball past the glove of Will Olson. The ricochet, though, will roll right back into Olson's glove. Jordan Williams, 1 for 2 with a walk and a run in the third. That third inning, all 9 Sabre Dogs did come up to the plate. Changeup bounces in the dirt. It's 2-0. USA would go on to win that men's water polo game. A lot of course, with the Olympics and the time zone differences between the U.S. and Tokyo, a lot of these are just replays. A fastball blown by Williams for strike 1. Currently, we're watching women's gymnastics, the balance beam. Simone Biles just went before. But obviously that happened earlier this morning. So if you know any of the results, please don't give me the spoilers. I'd like to watch for myself. Curveball swung on and missed. It's 2-2. Fremont Moo, last time I checked, are still trailing the Spearfish Sasquatch. We'll give an update again as another curveball gets Williams swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts for Austin Oblas, and it'll be Jared Breedwell who's 0 for 2 with a walk. Stepping up to the plate with 2 outs. In the top of the 6th inning from Dakota Community Bank and Trust Ballpark in Dickinson, the Badlands Big Sticks are all tied up with the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks 4-4. Ground ball to the glove of Norris McClure off the hop. Fires it deep across the infield, but it'll be in time. The second straight relief pitcher for the Sioux Falls Sunfish comes in and delivers a 3-up, 3-down inning. They have held the Sabre Dogs to just 8 runs through 7 innings, and it's stretching time here at Karras Park.
Overthink things, baby.
Things out for the Sunfish. The designated hitter, number 3.
Jaden Beck will be pulled out of the game after going 6 innings, allowing 3 runs, 2 of them earned, no walks, 4 strikeouts, and 9 hits. Chad Fox's first pitch slides to the inside corner for strike 1. So the longest outing for Jaden Beck, and a solid one at that, allowing just 3 runs. Change-up will catch the upper part of the zone to Declan Beers, and he's behind 0-2. Beers behind 0-2. He's also 0 for 2 on the night. Fouls one right back at the netting on a slow pitch up. Fox has made 2 appearances after debuting for the Sabre Dogs July 15th. He pitched on Thursday, just 2/3 of an inning, allowed 1 hit and 2 strikeouts through 3 batters faced. Beers fouls off another one, and this time the foul ball will be presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it. So Fox with 3 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, 2 hits. Pitch to Beers, sharply grounded over to Declan Buckle once again. The Declans don't seem to like each other. That's 3 ground outs to second for Declan Beers. And his Declan counterpart on the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs has a smile on his face, and I think he understands the humor of it as well. Imagine that. 3 ground outs, all to the second baseman, who also shares your first name and your last initial. Declan Beers to Declan Buckle. Again, it's the little things that I find humor in. As JT Mix takes a ball up and in. It's 1-0. JT 2 for 3 on the day. Singling his last 2 times up. Takes the fastball low and away. It's 2-0. For those of you who came out to Karras Park a few weeks ago to get that replica Sunfish jersey, the black one, with the orange Sioux teal falls on it, and the alternating colors on the back with the 21 as well. As Mix grounds one softly over to short. Morrow charging in, barehands it, makes the throw over to first in time. Steven Morrow is greeted by calls of Steve from the Sabre Dogs dugout. Barehands that one and takes the play away from his teammate Justin Cooper. 2 up, 2 down, and it's Benito Garcia. Our friends at Farmers Union Insurance providing those jerseys, and there was the food donation. People could also make money donations as well. 481 pounds of food and $593 raised in that giveaway with those replica jerseys. And all that will help provide 2,179 meals to those who face hunger each day. Thank you to our friends at Farmers Union Insurance, and thank you to all of you Sunfish fans who came out to support that drive. Get yourself a replica jersey. This is all made possible thanks to you. Again, 481 pounds of food, $593 to provide 2,179 meals to those who face hunger each day. Kudos to all you Sunfish fans out there who came that day. 2 balls and a strike to Benito Garcia on that foul ball. And also those jerseys, they were cool jerseys. Many Sunfish players got some, and they wear them sometimes during warm-ups or even on bus rides. See many fans who come to the ballpark wearing their replicas. The 2-1 is lined sharply down the left field line, but Garcia pulled it a bit too much. It bounces off the tent in the beer garden. It's 2-2. Bottom of the 7th inning, Sabre Dogs lead 8-3 over the Sunfish, who have not scored since their 3-run first inning. Curveball misses high. It's a full count. 1 run in the first, 2 runs in the second, 4 in the third, a scoreless 4th and 5th, and 1 in the 6th. got the Sabre Dogs to where they are. Here's the payoff. Lifted into right field. On his way back and over is Jordan Williams. He'll have enough time to make that catch. Back-to-back, 3 up, 3 down innings for the Sunfish on the fly out to right. They remain scoreless for the 6th straight inning. It's 8-3 after 7 from Karras Park. Reese Anderson from the 9th spot will lead off the top of the 8th inning, in which the Sabre Dogs still lead the Sunfish by 5. 9 hits for both teams as Austin Oblas returns to the mound after going 3 up, 3 down in the 7th. He starts off with a strike at the knees to Anderson, who's 1 for 3. Excuse me, they don't even have a hit for Anderson. I'm going to have to go back and check my notes. Here's the 0-1. Curveball will drop in at the corner. It's 0-2. So let's go back to the 3rd to Reese Anderson. Well, I guess he advanced on a fielder's choice. So 2 fielder's choices for Rhys Anderson today. So no base hit. Soft grounder over to Zeph. Off power at first. He misplays it a little bit. Flips it to Oblas, who is not at first. And E3 to kick off the 8th inning. Seemed like Oblas wasn't running over as to assume that Hoffpower was going to make the play, and the ball at the last second hopped up into Zeph's chest. He was not able to hold on to it. And the first error of the ball game for one of the best defenses in the Expedition League, the Sunfish. Justin Cooper walked in the 1st, singled in the 2nd, sac fly in the 3rd, struck out in the 6th. Take a slider away for ball 1. In the bottom of the 6th inning from Dickinson, the Whiskey Jacks and the Big Sticks are still tied at 4 as Cooper fouls off that one. In the top of the 5th inning from Wolf Field. It's a long one for the Casper Horseheads and the Canyon County Spuds in Idaho. The Horseheads lead 13-6. Swing and a miss on a curveball makes the count 1-2. In the top of the 9th inning, in that game that the Sunfish have been watching all night, the Spearfish Sasquatch are still up by 1. It's 8-7. Can they hold on to this one, or will the Moo come back in the bottom of the 9th? We'll keep you updated. Slider doesn't catch the outer part of the plate, even though it looked like it did. It's 2-2. From Montana in the top of the 5th, the Pier Trappers and the Mining City Tommyknockers doing battle again in this final game of the weekend series. Change-up runs high. It's a full count. The Tommyknockers in the top of the 5th lead the Trappers 5-4. Here's the payoff from Oblas. Taken low and away on the fastball. 2 men are on with no outs. for Declan Buckle. Buckle singled and scored in the sixth to give the Sabre Dogs a 5-run lead.
Number 3, Declan Buckle.
Once again around the league, the Pioneers lost their 6th straight, losing to the Sodbusters earlier 5-4. The Big Sticks and Whiskey Jacks are tied up at 4. The Horseheads lead by 7 in the top of the 5th, while the Sasquatch are up by 1 in the top of the 9th from Fremont. And the Trappers trail the Tommyknockers by 1. Fastball's called a strike to Declan Buckle. This is the most runners that have been on in the same inning since that costly 3rd inning for the Sunfish. The 0-1 showed bunt did Buckle. He pulled back at the last second as he saw the pitch going in the dirt. For you MLB fans, we're taking a break from the Olympics for a second. The bottom of the 7th from Milwaukee. The Brewers down by 2 in the bottom of the 7th with 2 on and 1 out. 2-2 count to Colton Wong. High chopper to Mixlr at 3rd. Throw to 2nd. It goes into right field. Mixlr was chasing down Rhys Anderson. Not sure why he didn't just go up and throw it to 2nd or even run back and tag 3rd. He had the force out. And now the bases are loaded on the E5. What was going through his head there? He had to come over to his left, closer to 2nd. Reese Anderson, who was forced to run to 3rd, was coming at him. And Mixlr started chasing him down, and then at the last second tried throwing it to 2nd to get Justin Cooper, but instead threw it into right field. Swing and a miss on a fastball to Drew Miller. Norris is tapping his chest with his glove. I understand if you immediately throw it to 2nd to get the double play and just leave the runner on 3rd, but at that point, if you're chasing down the runner, just run back and tap 3rd. Slow dribbler down the 3rd base line is foul. No one's touched it yet. It has finally stopped moving before Alex Shoemaker calls foul. It's no balls and 2 strikes to the lefty Drew Miller, who's has an RBI in the 1st inning and then doubled in the 3rd. Flew out his last 2 times up. No outs. Base is loaded for Miller. He skyrockets this one to JT Mix. Infield fly is in effect as Mix will make the catch for out number 1. Bases loaded, less than 2 outs. Infield fly is any infielder who can make a routine catch on a fly ball. And that one stayed on the infield dirt just behind first. So either way, if that dropped or was caught, it was an out. It's now 1 out. Double play could end the inning. But with Steven Moretto, you might not be getting a double play. He's 2 for 4 with a double in the 6th, that RBI double, and a single in the 3rd. He'll see a slider go outside. Sunfish bats have been keeping up with Souris Valley, but it's been the number of walks for the Sabre Dogs that has put them up by 5. More base runners for the hits means, well, more runs scored. 2-0 on the pitch that misses in. And while the Sunfish do have 9 hits, they're kind of spread out a little more evenly across the 7 innings. Fastball misses low and away. It's 3-0. 4 hits in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd, and then 1 in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. They've been kept hitless in the 6th and 7th. While the Sabre Dogs had 3 in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd, 2 in the 6th. Fastball down the heart of the plate makes it a 3-1 count. Sabre Dogs have also walked 4 times, as opposed to the Sunfish not drawing a single walk tonight. Here's the 3-1. Grounded sharply to Mixlr. He'll throw it to Mix. Mix will throw it over to first. In time, he got him. Beat him by about half a step. Morrow was busting down the first base line, and he just gets beaten out by the throw. A 5-4-3 double play keeps the Sabre Dogs scoreless after 2 costly errors for the Sunfish. No runs off no hits, 2 errors, 1 left on base for the Sabre Dogs. It's still 8-3 as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Norris Mixlr, who had redemption for his error, lines this one down the right field line. It's a fair ball. That'll roll all the way to the 310 in the corner. Mixlr on his way to second. Williams misplayed it. Norris is on his way to third. The relay from Buckle over to third. The slide. He's called out. Norris Mixlr. We heard our general manager, Nick Moen, think he was safe. It wasn't sure if the tag got him. It was an awkward slide at third. But Mixlr is trying to stretch his double into a triple. And this late in the game, down by 5, that's just something you really can't be doing.
Number 35, Will Olsen.
Will Olsen will now be up. They're going to call that a double, with Mixlr trying to advance it into a triple. A foul tip from Chad Fox off the bat of Will Olsen makes it an 0-1 count. Olsen lifts this one high and deep to right center field, giving chases Williams and Anderson. Williams will dive out, and he won't make the catch. That falls down. Olsen was about to stretch his double into a triple. Instead, he'll stay, not wanting history to repeat itself. It's a little dark here, but Jordan Williams putting his body on the line. I'll give a tip of my cap to that. He almost had it, had a nice read on it, and just missed it. I think the ball hit off his chest or something, because that didn't roll far. It just kind of died in the grass at least. So I think Williams might have gotten it in his glove and it popped out. Or he just knocked it down with his chest and overshot it on the dive. It looks like he's favoring his left wrist, which is his glove hand out there. Hopefully he's okay. A nice effort there by the Sabre Dogs right fielder. Kenneth Dutka takes the first pitch he sees, just a bit too far in front of it as he pulls that far out of play. It's now a runner on second after 2 doubles for the Sunfish. Dutka behind 0-1. He'll throw an off-speed high and away. Looks like it slipped out of his hand. Cullen Hannigan making the nice stop, keeping Will Olsen at second. It's Uno's wild. Dutka number 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 8-3, Sabre Dogs are leading. Dutka swings through a changeup for strike 2. Your final from Moeller Field in Fremont, the Moo have their 5-game winning streak snapped in an 8-7 loss against the Sasquatch. The 1-2 is taken up and away. It's a 2-2 count. So now the Sunfish need to try and come back and win this one if they want to gain that game back against Fremont. Currently just 2.5 games behind. If the loss is official tonight, the Sunfish will fall back to 3 games behind. Dutka skyrockets this one to the shallow infield. Ethan Moore is called off by Steven Moretto, who came in from third. Justin Cooper doing his due diligence, covering third, so Olsen wouldn't tag. 2 outs on the infield pop-out. And it'll be Zeph Hoffpower, who's 1 for 3 tonight. And Spearfish, with their win tonight, are now just a half game behind the Sunfish. If the Sunfish end up losing tonight, they will then be tied with Spearfish in second place, which will make that 2-game series later this week even that more important. Off power swings and misses. It's 0-1. Sharply grounded down the third base line, but foul. Off powers behind 0-2 with 2 outs. The Pier Trappers have taken the lead over the Mining City Tommyknockers in the top of the 6th. It's 6-5 Pier. For you Souris Valley fans listening in on the broadcast, very important, as the Sabre Dogs, if they hold out on this win, will then take a game over the Tommyknockers if they do end up losing to Pier. Slider low and away makes it a 1-2 count. 8-3 Sabre Dogs over the Sunfish late in this one. 9 hits for Souris Valley, 11 for the Sunfish with their 2 doubles in this inning. Hoffpower battles off a fastball and keeps the count at 1-2. A 2-game series against Western Nebraska at home before 9 days on the road. 2 games against Spearfish, 3 games against Casper, and then a day off on a travel day. So fastball runs low, it's 2-2. Before a 3-game series in Minot against Souris Valley. So 8 games in 9 days, all on the road. Before a 2-game series against Fremont to close things out here at home in Sioux Falls. The 2-2 to Hoffpowers. Taken high, it's a full count. The Sunfish haven't seen more than 1 base runner in an inning since the second, when JT Mix and Benito Garcia each singled with 2 outs. In fact, this is the first inning since the 5th where the Sunfish even have gotten a hit. An off-speed fouled off as Zeph is trying to stay alive as best as he can. Pitch number 7 of the at-bat on that foul ball. The payoff coming from Fox will be pitch number 8. Fox sets at the belt, kicks and delivers. Fastball taken in. And Hoffpower on 8 pitches draws the walk, and there's 2 on for the first time since the 2nd inning for Sioux Falls. Dane Frazier struck out looking in the first, grounded out to short in the 3rd, and struck out in the 6th. Similar to Friday, comes up for his 4th at-bat without a hit. Has a runner, or 2 runners on, as a ball from the Sunfish bullpen, I'd have to assume, comes flying in. Tyler Olmstead, the first base coach and pitching coach, will lob that back into the pen. Two runners on. Sunfish don't have a stolen base tonight because, frankly, they haven't had many runners on. Frazier swings through a breaking ball. It's 0-1. Just 5 left on base for the Sunfish, which in any given circumstance would most likely be good news, except the circumstance that would be that, well, those 5 are really the only ones who have gotten on for Sioux Falls, minus the 3 that scored in the first. Frazier sharply hits this one up the middle. That's through for a base hit. Olsen will round third. He's heading home. The throw's cut off by Ethan Moore, and the Sunfish have scored for the first time since the first inning. The throw in from Reese Anderson didn't look like it was intended for home. If it was far off the mark. An RBI single for Dane Frazier. He delivers for the second time this week, second time this series. Will Olsen scores from second. Zeph Hoffbauer is in scoring position now on second for Mitch Stroh, who's 0 for 3. It's just a 4-run ball game now with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Stroh takes a fastball at the ankles for ball 1. The Sunfish could pull off this comeback. It'd be the biggest one they've had all season. Stroh lifts this one high to left field. Miller camps underneath it. He looks like he'll make the catch, and he does. 1 run will score off 3 hits, no errors, 2 left on base. It's now a 4-run ball game. It's a bit better than a 5-run ball game headed into the 9th, but it's 8-4. The Sabre Dogs on top of the Sunfish. Can Souris Valley hold on, or will Sioux Falls come back once more? We'll see in the 9th when we return. Sunfish score 1 in the bottom of the 8th. It's 8-4. Austin Oblas is out, and the Sioux Falls native Jacob Glovich is in. 2 innings, 2 hits, 2 innings, no hits, no runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Oblas got out of a sticky situation in the 8th. A pair of errors and a walk would load the bases. A fly out would keep the bases loaded, and a double play, well, would prevent the Sabre Dogs from scoring. Cullen Hannigan, who was 3 for 3 before striking out in the 6th, takes a strike on the fastball from Jacob Glovich. I haven't seen Glovich since last Tuesday against the Moo, where he went 2 innings of scoreless and hitless pitching, allowing no walks and striking out 1. He throws a ball up and in. It's 1-1. And throws a curveball away. It's 2-1. 5 games for Glovich, 2.91 ERA, 12 and a third innings, 10 strikeouts, 5 walks. High chopper down the third base line will be foul, and it's 2-2. Glovich, in his 5 games, has played 2 against Fremont, 2 against Pierre. His 5th one was his first appearance ever, where he went 3 innings against Wheat City. The 2-2. Curveball that's ripped down the left field line, but Hannigan was way in front of that one. A curveball hung. And it's still a 2-2 count on the foul ball presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it. The 2-2 from Glovich is fouled off again. Another breaking ball in. Sabre Dogs are up 8-4 here in the top of the 9th inning. 9 hits, 1 error for them. 12 hits, 2 errors for the Sunfish. Both of those errors coming in the last inning. Here's the 2-2 once more, and the fastball inside gets him. Hannigan was going to get jammed if he made contact, but swung and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts for him. That's 1 away here in the top of the 9th inning via Jacob Glovich. It'll be interesting to see who the Sabre Dogs come back with in the bottom of the 9th inning. They do hold that 4-run lead, but Chad Fox gave up a couple big hits that last inning. Curveball drops in, but a bit too inside to Ethan Moore, who's 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Glovich's fastball, 79 on the radar gun, is called a strike as it catches the outer half of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, top of the 9th inning. Glovich quick with his windup. Sharply hit ground ball, bounces into the glove of Norris Mixlr. He fires to Zeph off power for out number 2. It was on the ground and must have hit a bump in the turf or something as it came up, and even Norris Mixlr didn't think he looked ready for that hop. There's 2 away here in the top of the 9th inning as Alex Miklos is now talking to Mixlr, trying to see where that ball hit off of, and Norris pointed somewhere in front of third base. There must have been just caught a piece of turf just right. 2 outs for Jordan Williams. Fastball sails over his head. Ducked out of the way just enough. Hopefully he's okay. He did have that dive out in right field to try and take away the double from Will Olson. Didn't come up with it. As a slider misses low and away, rolls away from Will Olson, it's 2-0. Swing and a miss on a fastball at the knees. 2-1. There are no more finals yet across the Expedition League, just the Pioneers and the Moo. 2-1. Off speed at the knees. It's 2-2 on the changeup. The Big Sticks did pull ahead. The Horseheads are still ahead by 7. The Trappers have now pulled away a little bit in the top of the 6th. It's 8-5. As Williams is jammed down the first base line, foul. So if the Trappers hold on, that's good news for Souris Valley fans. As at 13-8, the Sabre Dogs would stand on top of the Lewis division alone. Curveball swung on and missed. Jacob Glovich comes in, and it's the third reliever of the game for Sioux Falls who comes in and goes 3 up, 3 down in their first inning of work. Jacob Glovich does his job. Now the Sunfish bats need to do theirs. They trail by 4. It'll be Declan Beers, JT Mix, Benito Garcia to kick things off in the 9th and potentially spark a comeback for the second time this evening, or this weekend, excuse me. We return on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube for the bottom of the 9th inning after this. Taylor Justice has pitched 1 game this season. It was on July 16th. He went 3 up, 3 down with 3 strikeouts against the Western Nebraska Pioneers. He relieves Chad Fox, who went 2 innings, allowed 3 hits, all of them in the 8th inning, 1 run and 1 walk. Declan Beers, who is grounded out to Declan Buckle at second, all 3 times tonight, leads off. 85 miles an hour on the outside corner is called strike 1. Sunfish have walked it off twice this season. Once came in extras, once came in the 9th inning. Both of them came against Souris Valley. A fastball this time swung on and missed. Declan Beers is in the hole, 0-2. Justice with the windup and the delivery, throws a curveball, but it breaks just a bit too low away. It's 1-2. That was a nice curveball too. I was just expecting another fastball. Good thing I'm not hitting, honestly. Just your second outing, and it's a bold choice really there by Alex Miklos to put a position player in. Not that he's just a position player. I mean, he 1 outing, he did 1 inning of relief going 3 up, 3 down. He throws a fastball in, it's 2-2. Seeing as he's only pitched once, it's safe to say he's a position player. Coming to throw him in on the 9th. As Beers will foul off 1, battled off a fastball out of Karras Park. It's still 2-2. It just shows how long this Expedition League season is. As not only the Sunfish have been struggling with finding arms, but even Souris Valley is as well. Beers lays off of a fastball high. They appeal down to first. He did not go, and the count's full. Good layoff on the fastball high. 87 miles an hour on that pitch. Sunfish have gotten the leadoff man on once today as Beers lines this one into right field. His first base hit of the day. A good at-bat for Declan Beers, who was behind 0-2. Fouled off a couple, got back to a full count, and gets his first single of the game. Sound familiar? It'll be JT Mix. Now with a runner on, no outs in the top of the 9th inning. Mix 2 for 4 with a pair of singles in the 2nd and 4th inning, respectively. That's hit number 13 for the Sunfish tonight. Fastball away, good eye there by Mix. And the Sunfish lead the Expedition League in walks. They've got good eyes at the plate, and they typically just swing at the pitches they're supposed to, which is what they've been doing tonight, which is why they have not been walked tonight, except in the 8th inning when Zeph Hoffpower drew the walk. Pitch fouled off into the Sunfish dugout. It's a 1-1 count. And so unless they're given something they can hit, they're not going to swing at it. Proven there by Declan Beers in his at-bat, laying off the pitch high. Here's the 1-1. Taken high, 88. And it's always fun seeing how fast a position player can come in and throw, especially here at Karras Park, which to my knowledge is the only park in the Expedition League that has a radar gun. So 88 on that one. Fastest that Justice has thrown all inning. 85 laid off on. It's 3-1 now to JT Mix on the changeup. Zeph Hoffpower, Norris McClure, Dane Frazier, all position players who have come in and thrown high 80s on their pitches. Zeph Hoffpower even came in and hit 91 once. 3 balls and a strike to JT. Lays off a fastball high. Back-to-back batters get on. Second walk of the game for the Sunfish, and now there are 2 on with no out for Benito Garcia. Sunfish trail by 4. So the potential tying run is in the on-deck circle, assuming that Benito Garcia gets on. Garcia, 2 for 4, has scored once already today. Time is called by Cullen Hannigan just to give signs to his infield. Sun is down, aside from some pink to our right, out in the west. Garcia showing bunt. Morrow had time to come in, but the fastball is thrown low. It's 1-0. Morrow was coming in. Ethan Moore took a couple steps in, but wasn't all the way on the grass like the charging Morrow. Declan Buckle, Justin Cooper up the middle, playing for the double play ball. Reese Anderson playing to the left center field side of second base. The 1-0 swung on and missed. Alex Shoemaker signals a foul tip on the changeup. It's 1-1. The flies in this press box will be the end of me. There have been 2 flies buzzing around all game. I've been trying to swat at them, and it's annoying, especially here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Curveball drops all the way in at the knees of Garcia. Froze him. Started up around his chin, fell all the way to his knees. All across the plate, it's 1-2. 2 on, no out. Sabre Dogs up by 4, trying to take this game 4 and even up the series at 2-2. Garcia pokes one down the right field line. It'll hook foul. He'll break his bat. Second broken bat of the evening for Sioux Falls. And it remains a 1-2 count. Believe that bat that Benito was using was his own. I saw Norris McClure use it during batting practice before the game. He instead goes for one of the I think they're Harmony bats. I think that's the brand that we use here in the Expedition League. The 1-2. Jammed him on the breaking ball, but still fouls it off. Another quality at bat for the Sunfish. 5 pitches to Benito Garcia. He's at a 1-2 count. And in just 1 inning, Taylor Justice is already up to 17 pitches through just 3 batters faced. Declan Beers on second, JT Mix on first. Here's the 1-2 to Benito Garcia. Swings through a curveball, far ahead of that one, and out number 1 comes via the strikeout. Justice, who had been heavily relying on that fastball, fooled Garcia with the curveball. Was pitching fastballs, high 80s. Slows down that curveball to about 71, 72, and we'll already have a pitching visit, or a mound visit, rather, from Alex Miklos. Sunfish have struck out 5 times in this game. Walked only twice. Doesn't look like there's going to be a pitching change. Taylor Justice is a righty. He'll be facing the lefty Norris McClure. He's already faced Declan Beers, who is a lefty. So I can't imagine they're going for a righty-lefty matchup. I think just with 1 out, Miklos is telling his infield, here's what you got to do. We're going to come out of this one. Norris McClure has singled twice today and doubled last inning, but he tried stretching that double into a triple and was thrown out in the process. You know he won't make the same mistake twice if he gets a hold of one here. It was McClure who, against the Sabre Dogs, all the way back on June 11th, in his first game as a Sunfish, would walk it off. He won't be able to walk it off here, but he can help his team get that much closer to doing so. He'll swing through a fastball right down the heart of the plate for strike 1. Justice kicks and delivers. 87 misses high. It's 1-1. One out, runners on first and second. Sunfish down by 4. McClure lays off a changeup up and away. It's 2-1. Changeup doesn't take much off of the fastball. Almost has me second guessing like that might just be his fastball with a little less on it. The 2-1. Swung on and missed. Goes with the off speed again. It's 2-2. His fastball is topped out at about 87, 88. While those last 2 pitches were 85 and 84 respectively. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the 9th inning. Here's the 2-2. Taken away. Hannigan drops it. But I was going to say Buckle, but Declan Beers and JT Mix are not going to risk anything on the bases. Sunfish have been caught too many times trying to advance or even just caught off the base. No, no, no. Not here. Payoff pitch is taken high. And the second walk issued of the inning by Taylor Justice loads the bases for Will Olson. No mound visit here by Miklos. And another quality at-bat for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. 5 pitches is all it took to walk Norris McClure. Seemed a lot longer than that and a lot more pitches. Now up to 24 through 4 batters faced. Here's the 5th in Will Olson. He'll take a curveball. That'll break just a bit into the zone. Enough to call it a strike. So bases loaded, 1 out. Potential tying run at the plate. Olson takes another breaking ball low. It's 1-1. Olson's a fastball hitter. He's a pull ball hitter. He's hit many home runs here at Karras Park. He's had many home runs other places as well. The 1-1. It's the first fastball he sees, just a bit up. 2-1. It's almost smart of Justice to... Honestly, it'd be smart of Justice to almost just pitch around Will Olson. Will has doubled twice in this game. Grounded out twice as well. Fastball misses away. It's 3-1. Justice is visibly getting frustrated with himself, has a little bit of a scowl on his face. Kenneth Ducka in the on-deck circle. Sunfish down by 4. If they score here via a walk, Ducka will be the go-ahead run. Fastball called a strike right down the heart of the plate. Tough one to lay off there for Olson. I think he thought it was a bit low. Ended up catching him at the thighs. So bases loaded, 1 out, payoff pitch here to Olson. He pops it up, out of play. He'll live to see another strike. Or another pitch, doesn't have to be a strike. On Christmas in July 25th, the Sunfish, all they asked for Santa Claus this year was a win against the Sabre Dogs and 1 game closer to the Fremont Moo. Payoff once more is lifted high to center field, deep enough for Beers to score from third. Reese Anderson, well, he lost it! He lost it in the lights! 1 run scored, the runners advanced to their respective bases, and it looked like Rhys Anderson, he played that really well. Had me fooled. He was camping underneath it, but not for a second did he see it. It fell right between himself and Jordan Williams in right center field. It is now an 8-5 ball game with the game-winning run, easy for me to say, up at the plate in Kenneth Ducka with just 1 out. So an E8 scores a run, and that'll be it for Taylor Justice. We'll be back in just a moment as the Sunfish pull within 3 of the Sabre Dogs here in the 9th inning at Karras Park. Reese Anderson, gotta give him props, saving a couple runs from the Sunfish. Lost the ball in the lights, played it like he was tracking it the whole time, and just allowing one to score. The Sunfish are down by 3 as Kenneth Dutka swings at a pitch in the dirt from Aaron Suval. Suval was the pitcher on Friday who the Sunfish, or actually he came in, yesterday to hit. That's right. I'm looking at the batting, not the pitching. Got lost. He throws a 92-mile-an-hour fastball away. We got Unos Wild for the second straight inning. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Kenneth Dutka, number 1. But Suval pitched on Friday, went 1/3 of an inning, allowed 2 runs to Cross off 4 hits. Dutka lines one sharply to the back wall to the left, and it ricochets all the way back into play. You could hear that rocket off of it. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Dutka with the bases loaded, 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. Dutka, defense inside, fouls it off again. It was on June 13th, correction from before, June 13th, that the Sunfish walked it off against the Sabre Dogs the first time. The 1-2, swung on and missed, 92 blown by him. Kenneth Dutka goes down swinging, and it'll be 2 outs now, bases loaded for Mixlr. Sunfish are down by 3. The tying run is on first. The game-winning run is at the plate. Mixlr, 1 for 3 with a walk. Or Zeph Hoffpower, excuse me. Why am I bad at identifying players via numbers? Zeph Hoffpower, my correction, 1 for 3 with a walk. Breaking ball misses high, it's 1-0. Friday, too, when JT Mix came to the plate before his game-winning hit, I misidentified him for a couple pitches as Mixlr as well. When it's Zeph Hoffpower with the bases loaded and a 1-0 count with 2 outs. Swings through a fastball, evening the count at 1. Here's the 1-1. Broken bat over to Morrow. He'll throw it to second in time. And the Sabre Dogs hold on. That bat broke cleanly at the handle. The entire barrel went barreling, pardon the pun, down the third base line. Final out, 9:20 p.m. here in Sioux Falls, and the Sunfish leave the bases loaded in the 9th inning. And they fall 8-5. 8 runs off 9 hits, 2 errors for the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs. They leave 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 left on base. The Sunfish fall 5 runs on 13 hits, 2 errors, leaving 3 on there in the 9th inning. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 left on base, 5 in the last 2 innings. Your winning pitcher for the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs, Jaden Beck. In his first start ever, gets a win, while Andalo Santangelo gets the loss on this one, allowing 7 of tonight's 8 runs. The Sunfish lose back-to-back and now remain 3 games behind the Fremont Moo, who lost to the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs. So the Moo now at 16-5, while the Spearfish Sasquatch improved to 13-8, and the Sunfish fall to 13-8, tied for second in the Clark Division standings. The Souris Valley Sabre Dogs improved to 13-8. Check a quick score update for those you Souris Valley Sabre Dogs fans listening. The Mining City Tommyknockers in the top of the 7th inning trail the Pier Trappers 10-5. The Trappers hold on to that one. The Sabre Dogs will stand alone heading into tomorrow, 13-8 on top of the Lewis division. Speaking of tomorrow, the Sunfish return to Karras Park for a 2-game homestand against the Western Nebraska Pioneers. The Pioneers lost earlier today to the Hastings Sodbusters, their 6th straight loss. They are now 9-10 in the second half of the season. The Sunfish are looking to exploit that losing streak and make it even bigger in their quest to take the Clark Division second half title and make the playoffs in their inaugural season, where they will see the Western Nebraska Pioneers if they do so. Once again, your winning pitcher, Jaden Beck. Your losing pitcher, Andalo Santangelo. Your final time, 3 hours and 44 minutes. Tonight, or that's not right, 2 hours and 44 minutes, my bad. 2 hours and 44 minutes from Karras, where the Sabre Dogs won 8-5 over the Sioux Falls Sunfish. 9 hits, 2 errors, 8 left on base for Souris Valley. 13 hits, 2 errors, 10 left on base for the Sunfish. They return tomorrow at Karras Park. 6:35 first pitch on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. You can also find tickets on the Sioux Falls Sunfish website or by reaching out to General Manager Nick Moen and Assistant General Manager Zach Campbell. For everyone at the Sioux Falls Sunfish organization and our cameraman Sean Henley and producer, media man extraordinaire, I'm David Coyer. Have a good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Go Fish.